Hello people, this is me, the creator of this Ultima Underworld editor, and I figured out it would be a good thing that I record some tutorial how to actually use it, because it can be a little bit complicated, a little bit, not too much, but well, the conversations are complicated. But the editor itself is not too much. I made it that it should be pretty easy to use, but I will show you how to, do some specific things like traps, because in Ultima traps are pretty weird and, well, done in a bit, well, old way. I don't know how to say it, but okay. So here in editor we have modes. Tile mode is pretty easy. You just paint stuff, but not in solid like this. It's right mouse button. No, right mouse button. Yes, that's right. Okay, but I don't want to show you this because this is easy stuff. Let's try to add some traps to this testing thing I was trying to do here. Object mode. So you click right mouse button, you add, well, let's say, okay, maybe I will explain the traps, although there is some explanation here too, but probably easier is to just listen to my with my crappy accent too. We have triggers and traps in Ultima 1, 2. Let's see all of them. This is all the objects that you can add, but some of them are well, doesn't exist actually, like this on red, or some are unknown. But about the traps and triggers, let's start with triggers. So what is a trigger? Well, when the avatar does something, it triggers. So he can move on some tile, he can pick up, and that will trigger. He can use, exactly use, that means that you click on the use thing and click on anything that is used. And look, yes, exactly the same, but with look button, you look on something and it triggers. Also open trigger, so for doors there's open trigger and unlock trigger, possibly for chests. I don't know, actually I didn't test it. Probably not actually. Maybe, I don't know. You can test it out. I might test it out later, but right now I can't be bothered. Okay, so let's add a trigger. The first thing, the only trigger that isn't attached to anything else, just lying straight in the map, is the move trigger. By the way, all the icons for the triggers and traps are actually from the main game, and from the game they are inside the game, so I didn't create it. I didn't create them. They look a bit weird sometimes, like some of these icons for the objects. Very hard to see what they are, but you know, there is something I can do. But come on, I won't add icons to that. There's a little bit too much. So we have a move trigger, but we can specify something. So it can be one time only. So when an avatar moves into this tile, I don't know, let's add this here and this here. So this will activate only once. Oh, I forgot to add this property here. That sucks. Or tough shit. Next time maybe. Let's see just one more time. Unlimited. So when avatar moves into the tile, well, actually when avatar is moving through the tile, it will trigger as long as he's moving through it, and one time only, just once, and then it probably destroys itself. So right now it won't do anything because it don't trigger anything. It is not connected to anything. So let's add the simplest type of trap there is, a text trap. What is a text trap? It's the most dangerous trap because it prints text. So this is a text that will be printed just once. And that also creates an objects in the map. Some traps can be moved, but some, well, all can be moved, but some traps store their information about something in their position too, so I will tell which ones. Those shouldn't be moved because they will change their behavior after that. This one can be moved anywhere. Some also they are invisible, so you can put it like here. They will be invisible. That's not a problem. But I don't know. I recommend they're putting them outside of level because they won't obstruct anything else then and won't be looking a bit weird. So another text trap. This is a trap that will trigger unlimited amount of time. Bummer. But still, it will not work because these objects don't know anything about themselves. So how do you connect them? When you click right mouse button on a trigger, on the move trigger, it has option link trigger. So you can link this to this. Target object text string is not a trap. Huh. Sorry about that. That was a bug. And I destroyed it. I crashed it. So that's what should happen. Click and it is linked. Now it says links to text string trap, and this trap is this one. So link this to this, and this will link this one. You can always destroy the link if you want, or you can click link trigger to some other trigger that will update it. Let's test it. Let's look how it works in the game. What's the actual? Oh, I did actually. Really? What the heck? Thought I did not close those box. Wait a second then. Yet another cut in the video. I'm kind of unlucky today, I guess. I hope that the sound from the game won't be too loud. Nah, I got it under control. So these traps are here. When I go in here, this is a text that will be printed just once, and this will trigger unlimited amount of time as long as you move. Okay, this works, cool. Okay, let's make some more traps, more advanced stuff. What do we have more? So we have a pickup trigger. So when there is another object already in the map, you can right click it and add the trigger, and this will pop up a menu with the rest of the triggers that can be attached. But some doesn't make sense, so I don't attach open trigger to stone. It will probably don't do anything. have a door over here. And I will add the trigger later, but right now add trigger, a pickup trigger, and probably, I don't know how it will work, but we can test it. We can add unlimited time, not unlimited time, unlimited trigger to a stone. Probably maybe if I put it back on the level and pick it again, it will trigger again. I don't know. Let's add something, another stone, because they are so boring and I like them. So this have unlimited trigger, and this will have one-time trigger. And let's add some trap. What traps next? Maybe a damage trap. So this either damages player or poisons player. So let's add a little damage so it won't kill avatar. But yeah, this will be good for testing. So this trigger, you select the stone, right? And when it has a trigger, it can. Oh, the special is probably not needed here. Did I just forgot to? Ah, no, it's actually good. That works. And anyway, you should ignore this. But I should remove this field because it will confuse some people. This is just a link to the trigger or something. Yes. Because it is Ultima and I need to add 512 and stuff. So this trigger, select this trigger and create new link. Because you can't, when you click right mouse button over it, it's not a trigger, it's a stone. You need to first select it through here. Yeah, let's create some other thing for the stone. So maybe something that it will do something visible, maybe, or maybe teleport trap. Why not? So how does this work? Because that was pretty easy. Damage trap just either damages for the amount of damage you specify, and or where you when you select poison, that changes the poison strength. So how long you are poisoned, or maybe how strong the damage from poison is. And this is just teleport, or just teleport is a bit too. That word is not describing it properly. It just moves the player from A to B. So it is used as any travel in the game. So stairs use the teleport too. Let's. I need to check some safe space to teleport to first. So let's say it will teleport to the tile 33 and 2. The height doesn't matter. Not this place to click. Oh, you can also do this. So you can right click and inventory. This is counting as an inventory for this stone. So this, oops, I forgot to create a teleport trap. So it was 33 and 2, I hope. And if if it teleports the player to the wall, he will die. Or there is some kind of little buffer to this, I think. Like it checks if nearby tiles are empty spaces. So target level the same, and 33 too. So I can still change this. That's not a problem. I mean, yes, 33 too. And now select this thing, create the link with this teleport, so when picking up this stone, just once, it should teleport the player to this place, and picking up this should activate this damage trap, so it will damage the player from 1 HP, but it should work unlimited time. I don't know, let's see what will happen. Actually, I don't know. It will be a little bit of experiment. Probably it should work, but I have no idea. They save? I hope. Okay, maybe take this candle. So this should teleport me as long as I move. Or actually no, I teleported straight away. And it worked only once. Yes, exactly. Nice. What about this? We have 35 hit points. And 34. Yeah, it damages every time you pick it up. Cool. What a way to die, just picking up a stone till you're dead. Okay. So that works. So that was pick up trigger. Next on the list is... okay, what is on the list actually? A look trigger and a use trigger. So I maybe demonstrate the use trigger on a lever, because it is mostly used on lever, but you can actually attach it to anything, like a school or, I don't know, grass. Let's add a switch or lever. What is more cool? This is the coolest switch. I don't know. Just any switch will do. Trigger type. Yes, I actually created a shortcut, so when you create a lever, actually it automatically creates a use trigger also in this switch, so you know. We create two, maybe, no, just one will be enough. Don't know if this switch is high enough, probably is. So yes, when you click on the inventory, there is already a use trigger. Also, because it is a lever, I created some shortcuts like link lever, so you can directly click on it. You don't have to click here. But you can still select the use trigger. It works exactly the same. So now we add a trap. What's next to show? So arrow trap is probably a good thing to show, because it's funny. You can really do some ridiculous stuff with that. Arrow trap just is a trap that shoots projectiles. Let's add a trap that shoots apples. Nah, maybe not. Well, you can add a trap that shoots whatever you wish. Maybe this red bouncing spheres. I added it a little bit too low, maybe a bit higher. Now link that one, link lever to this thing. Let's check it. Links to our trap. Okay, but let's add something more, because I don't want to run a game every time and add a little single object here and there. What next trap to show? This is pretty important trap, change terrain trap. This really can this is used. Oh yeah, I know what I will show you. How to make a typical secret, like they did in Ultima Underworld 1. How they did it, how they yeah, how you use secrets in Ultima, how you create secrets. So first you need well, you can do it probably in one way only. Let's how high it is. It is height 4. So let's say we want a secret here that you know, when you look at it, it destroys this part of the level. I mean, not destroys, it actually creates a empty space. Also, you know, we need to have some kind of secret door here. So we first let's add this secret. You don't have to add the door, of course. It's your own choice, but most of the Ultima secrets have these secret doors that how do you say it? They have the same texture as the walls here. So you should also change the texture here to match this or this. So let's do it. Actually, why not? And add two things. So one thing is I always click on this, god damn it. The change terrain trap, and you actually need to put this in the tile which you want to change. So you can put it here and you know tell it to change this tile. Change terrain trap. Now this has a lot of options here. You can change bit of terrain around, not around, but starting from the place where you put it. It has a range of 8 maximum, so you can change 8 by 8 square if you wish. It can change height. Well, yeah, this is kind of weird thing that they added in. I don't know why they added in option to ignore the height that you put in here and get the height from the trigger. I don't know why. What's the difference? So the height is, I think, 30. Yeah, I should probably change it to the tile height, not object height, but you can figure this out. This is the same as the object height, so it is 32. Size is 0. 0 is not 0, it's just one tile. Yes, open, so it will change to the open. Floor texture, no, you don't change this. Don't, yes, you can, oh, I should or added that it would blocked from the start. So to summarize this, it will open up this tile just one by one and height 32. It doesn't change textures. So what will trigger this thing? So we need to add two more things. A fake wall that you can look at. So add an object, and there are two things, two walls, two type of walls. One is passable, one is impassable. Should always, and not always, but most of the time you should use passable, because impassable actually has a bit large hitbox or collider. I don't know what is the best word for it. And if it would be impassable wall, you could easily get stuck in it. So this fake wall, you put it just in the place of the normal wall, so it will blend. Just not sure if it should be like this or like this. Let's see here, how did I put it? 4, so this should be 3. So this should be probably like this. Anyway, that doesn't matter. It will be either a bit to the right or good. We'll see. So this thing actually needs a look trigger. So now this either no, it should be unlimited, because if it would be one time only, and if there is some difficulty, you know, because you know there is search skill, and I think if you do it one time only and you know the avatar looks at it and nothing happens, it will destroy the trigger and it could not activate it next time. So let's only use unlimited on the secrets. And 0 because we won't have any search from the start. So this is attached. Let's link this to this destroy terrain trap. And the last thing, because well, it will work anyway, but if we want to create like a true Ultima Underworld experience here, we add the secret door. This is the secret door variant. Don't change it, man. Door is not open. Door is unlocked because it is start. Doesn't matter these things. Yeah, I think it's fine. I hope. And it needs to be like here, maybe closer to the wall. But the thing is, it needs to be at the same height. I think. Actually didn't check this. It was 32. Oops. Why it doesn't work? Because I blocked it. I think. Shit. I need to fix it then. So I'll fix it. It should be 32, but I probably blocked it because it is out of the tiles, and you know I added some space, some safe checks, so you can't put an object higher than ceiling or something like this, or lower than tile. Anyway, let's try and see what happens. Probably there will be secret door, but under the floor. So there will be a wall, actually. What was the first thing? The lever. I mean the shoot arrow, the arrow trap. It's surprisingly working well. Oopsie daisy. So the thing here, yeah, shoots these bouncing balls. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and this ball bounced in some other place. I wonder if the first one will bounce the same. Yeah, maybe the first one it actually hit me or something. So, is this working? It is. Yes, I forgot to do something here. So yeah, that actually makes perfect sense, because the wall here, well, it's still a wall. But you should also destroy this. And there was that fake door. So it lacks one thing here. And it is another type of trap. This is a destroy object trap. And because some traps can be attached to other traps, I think you can add a trap to this one, or not? I don't remember. I think you should be able to add another type of trap to this. I did not let. Okay, whatever. Yes, I forgot. Here you can add the next trap. So if you trigger a trap, and if a trap has another trap linked or inside, it will trigger it. Exactly. It's a bit confusing maybe. So you can add another trap to this trap, and this will be the destroy object trap, which is which one? This delete object anyway. Destroys and doesn't work on monsters. Apparently I tested and it didn't not do anything. Right now the thing that is selected is delete object trap, so it is within this inventory. And actually it links to this thing, so actually you can't add anything more to that because this thing is already linking to something. You can't add another thing inside this chain of traps. Okay, let's quickly test it and see how these doors are looking like inside the floor. And I don't know, maybe it will pop them up, because I don't know, I have no idea actually. Come on, Mr. Avatar. Yeah, these doors are actually deep underground. You cannot use that because it's too low. But I probably screwed up a little bit here. Not sure why. But this should. Target height. Maybe it's a bit too low. What is this height? Oh, it's 4, not 2. Oopsie daisy. What am I doing? Target height should be... Oh god damn it. I put it at 2 different measures here. This is pretty confusing. And I don't know which one is actually the target height. I need to fix that one anyway. So the target height should be 32. I already checked that. I don't know, I need to see it after this video, what is going on here. Anyway, it will work, just I put in some weird calculations that automatically change the height to the object height, which is just multiplied by 8 as that. So I don't know which is actually used for this trap, or object or tile height. Anyway, that's how you create a secret passage. So, you know, let's remove this next time when we use this. Okay, let's put 48 for the fun. See what happens. Anyway, couple of traps left. Create object trap. Yes, this is pretty important trap. It creates objects, of course. And you need to drag it from the outside. Spawn chance, you can alterate this height. You can spawn higher than in just on the floor if you want to spawn a bat or whatever. Ah yeah, this trap I think is always attached to the bottom left corner of the tile or something. That's why it's created here, not in the middle. And do we have some type of trigger that I didn't use? I think there is one, or maybe not. Ah yeah, this, you know, let's remove it. Let's use this door here. Add trigger, open trigger, unlimited? No, just one time only. So when you open this door, it will create something here. No, I will use this shortcut. Create object trap. And let's add some bat. Cave bat. That is hostile. It doesn't matter. Yeah, of course it does matter, but this I think it doesn't matter. I don't really know. If it will be spawned. Yeah, that's kind of a stupid thing, but hostile NPC which is standing, I think he will change it immediately to attacking players, so whatever. And drag it here, so this bat should be created in this tile, in the middle of it. And we have a trigger, open trigger, we select it, create a link and link it to this trap. That's that. It's as simple as that. Quotation marks. Okay, let's add one last thing maybe. What do we have here? Something. Ah, yes, actually not one last thing, but the most confusing type of trap is a variable trap, and it is used for puzzles in Ultima. You can do pretty advanced stuff with this. Actually, it's cool that it can be edited in in this editor, because they added some they have some stuff that is hard coded, but not this, which is pretty great. So let's add some levers. Let's make a super easy stupid puzzle. I don't know if I can come up with something right now, but whatever. Lever 1. Oopsie daisy. That use trigger should not be unlimited. Oh yeah, should be unlimited. What am I talking about? And next lever, and that's all. So add object. So we have two levers here. So one will set some variable. So this is a set variable trap. What the hell does this do? It sets some variables. So in Ultima Underworld, I think there are 64 or 108, 128 variables that store some integer from 0 to 64, I think. So you set them by doing some, switches puzzle, and the last switch or some other switch checks the variable at the end and compares it to something. So this will be like, which variable do you want to edit? So first, because this is first instance of this type of puzzle, operation type you can use. You probably need to use set as the first operation, because when you add, I don't know what it will do, probably add to 0. So let's set the first value to 9. So this exactly what this do? This sets the variable number 1 to 9. Link it. Cool. What next? So this this switch will have another variable trap, which will, let's say, multiply it or something by 2. So variable index 1, operation type. There is no multiplication here. Well, that sucks. So let's subtract, I don't know, 5. So this in theory should do something like this. When you switch this first, the variable number 1 is 9. Then when you switch this, it will subtract 5, so it should be 4. But when you switch this first, well, this doesn't matter really. Oh no, it does matter. It does. Because when you switch this first, it will subtract 4 from, I don't know, probably 0, I hope. So it should be -5. And then when you switch this, it still sets it to 9. So when you add like a third lever that checks what variable should be at the end, and you say it should be 4. So only combination this lever first and this lever second will work, right? This is all in theory. I hope it will work. It would be pretty funny if it will work actually. I have no idea. So this is check variable trap. Variable index is 1 and you check for 5. Yeah, 9 minus, no, 4. Because this was, what? This was 5. Yeah, there are some other advanced options of this trap. I really don't want to explain it right now. Maybe later. And now, but I will say that you can add. So it checks and then triggers anything that is connected next to it. So you can add. Let's add 2 text traps. Oops, daisy. Oh, that sucks. I didn't add traps to that. Oh no, maybe it needs to have the triggers. Sometimes it will only trigger triggers, not traps. So this is just the dummy trigger that is used to create another trap. Yeah, maybe a bit confusing, but what the hell is going on here? So this is a one and only trap that can have 2 links, and I think so. Let's say what I wrote here. So yeah, if the value is equal, it triggers the first thing, and if it's not, it triggers the second thing. If there is no second thing, that just doesn't trigger anything. So the first move trigger can trigger a simple text trap. Hey, oh, you don't need this quotation mark. It worked. And the second text trap, nope. Which one is this? This is the first one, I think. Okay, so it's all set up, I think. This thing sets to 9, this thing subtracts to 5. This thing, this thing checks if this is equals 5. Alright, and there's a but here, and I also deleted that. Let's save and hope that it actually works. Okay, first thing I want to check on this old trap. How the hell is it? Oh yeah, so it was 48 now when I set up, so it should be in 32. I thought that I set it up to 32. I don't know. Whatever. Next, the door. Hello, but I need to actually punch you now. Oh, what was... wait. Probably has high unarmed. Oh, yeah. And let's see what happens when I click it right now. Nope, nope. That's fine. So the puzzle is to switch this thing and then this thing. It worked! It actually worked. Holy heck. That's nice. That's how you could make some puzzles. Pretty neat, isn't it? There are some more options, but actually I'm not sure how some of them work. I mean, I know, but they are a bit complicated, like shifting bits in this, in these numbers. That can be a little bit confusing, but there are always an option. And let's also check the rest of the traps. Fortunately, they are not complicated. So attitude trap, it's just pieces of monsters that are nearby. Platform trap is kind of useless because it's a weaker version of change terrain trap. Camera trap is used as, you know, when you look at something, or you don't have to look at something. When you trigger this, it just changes the view of the player to this trap. So it is used as an orb in a Ultima. Conversation trap triggers the conversation with one slot, unfortunately. Only one. And that's all, I think. There's an inventory trap. And a spell trap, which is also a bit not as great as it sounds, unfortunately. Because I haven't checked much of what it could do, but it should trigger a spell, but only it work for a couple of spells. Mostly for the offensive spells. Unfortunately, it can't change spell like it can't trigger a spell like I don't know, paralyze, or I don't know, tremor. It would be useful. You could, you know, trigger tremors. It could simulate some kind of natural tremors, like in mines. And what was the other one? Inventory trap. There's a pit trap, but it doesn't work. It literally does not do anything. It can be used, however, as a dummy placeholder for this trap when you don't want to do anything, you know, on the good guess. You know what I am talking about. Inventory trap, it just searches for a particular type of object in the avatar's inventory. When it is found, it triggers next thing. That's that. So I won't even bother to show it. Thanks for listening, and I hope it helps. And I'll also make a conversation tutorial. So see ya.